what's going on right now in the world, man, because there's so much tragedy. There's so much tragedy and uncertainty that it really is scary. And
Yeah.
it's scary it's really not even just scary because of everything that's happening. It's scary because as an adult and as a parent, you think about your kids, in the world that that they're living in now, and also the world that we have to leave them to whenever our time is done. It's like
Yeah.
that's like I think about that more than anything now. I really don't think about life as it pertains to me much anymore. I think about uh the world that I live in, and what world is my kids going to what are they gonna what type of world are they going to inherit whenever my time is gone, and that's probably the thing that keeps you up at night more than anything, because there's so much uncertainty in this world right now, man, that it's crazy and scary.
Yeah, and even in America, it's like, we've had some crazy events and tragedies, but then at the same time in other places around the world, it's like wiping out whole countries. And Puerto Rico's,
Hmm.
I mean, Puerto Rico's part of America, but they're not going to have power for a few months potentially. And the floods. But then even here there was three small earthquakes in the last
Yeah.
night, in the last 12 hours. There was one in LA, I think,
Well,
a
Rocco
couple
tells
days
me
ago.
some crazy stuff like, "Well, we're just waiting for the San." He goes, "I mean, with all the stuff that's going on," he goes, "the San Andreas fault has to go." I'm like, "What do you mean it has to go?" He goes, "California's going to be an island, and no, it's going to happen, DC." I'm like, "Because I'm going off about how great California is, and I don't want to live anywhere else." And he's like, "Well, get used to living in the middle of the Pacific Ocean," because he thinks the San Andreas fault is going to go, and then we're all going to be living in the ocean. Rocco's out of his mind, isn't he?
Yeah, we usually get a little bit of leeway, right, for a few days after the fight. You get a
That
little.
dude,
You're not
he
seeing
got
not
punched
seeing
in the head,
clearly.
I guess, but
He
dude's out of his mind.
That was good to see him back. It was I actually reminded me of something. So when he was in the beginning, when I think he got tagged once, like, when I wanted to ask you this, when you're in a fight, do
Mhm.
you, like, because as a fan you're sitting there watching, like, oh shit, not again, but you're not really thinking like that. You're thinking, oh shit, is he thinking, oh shit, again? Like, when you're
Mhm.
in a fight,
Mhm.
are you literally just like thinking about that second, or if you get hit, are you thinking, oh fuck, like, would he have been thinking like, oh my god, this happened last time, is it happening again, or everything's happening too fast to have those thoughts?
You're just kind of going on instinct. He told me this the other day when he came out to UFC tonight. He said, man, he goes, I didn't get nervous. He goes, I got hit and I kind of like dropped my hands, and then he hit me again, and I was like, okay, I probably should grab him. Look, they say that we aren't hurt by the punches, obviously, that you see, or maybe one punch isn't the one that really knocks you out. It's when you start to take punches in succession that really sucks. Like one, you take a straight right hand and you may get like rocked a little bit, but the left hook that follows it is the punch that usually puts the lights out.
Yeah.
So when he got hit a couple times, he was kind of like relaxed, and he still seemed to be like fully aware of where he was and what he was doing. So he was fine. Uh, he I thought he looked okay. I mean, I thought he looked good. Obviously it's been a long time since he's fought. I'm just so used to him dominating guys like he did in the second round from the very beginning, that we judge him differently than we do most people because of the dominance that he's shown the ability to have over all these people.
Yeah. Now when he was injured, he opted against surgery, right? He just waited it out.
He did stem cells and all kinds of other stuff. He's trying not to do the surgery, man.
Yeah.
Surgeries, you're guaranteed gone for a long time. So we try to get creative and work our way around these surgeries just so that we can try to get back in the octagon faster. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think he never did. He might have got it scoped or something, but he never did the full on surgery. Did stem cells and everything else to try to get healthy. And now since he's back, maybe uh, he could bring uh, some sort of like stability back to the division, because now everybody's back, right?
Yeah.
So Bisping and GSP are fighting. That's another one of those fun fights. After that, I believe the division will then get back on the right footing and start heading towards the direction of what the middleweight division's always been. title holder versus the best contender that's doing well, you know.
Yeah.
GSP is a special case. He does deserve a title shot. But after that, you know, it'll be good to see Whitaker fight the winner. And then those other guys just kind of getting back into the groove of trying to determine these title challengers.
Yeah, and it's hard to figure out sometimes if you get rewarded for fighting when you're waiting or waiting when you're waiting. Right? Like you can't figure out like shitty weight. I mean, like, but then there's so many guys in that division that are all kind of at the same place.
He can't wait, Nick. It's too many people. Like, if he doesn't fight, I mean, Bisping has to fight GSP. If he wins, then he has to fight Robert Whitaker, whenever that's going to be. And then the winner of that fight has to be healthy enough to fight another guy. So are you going to sit out the octagon for another year, year and a half?
So pretty much, am I wrong to assume that if all goes as planned, he's going to fight Robert Whitaker at some point, right? I mean, it's like
Bisping, you mean, or Luke?
Luke. I mean, I would think that if GSP beat Bisping, then Whitaker would beat GSP.
You know what's the crazy thing about Robbie Whitaker?
Huh.
Bobby Knuckles. The weird thing about Bobby Knuckles is that at 170, he got knocked out by Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, went up to 85, and just completely reinvented himself. So I think that actually plays a part in George saying, I'll fight Bisping because he feels that's a good matchup. And if I have to defend one time, because that's part of his contract, is that if he wins, he has to fight one more middleweight fight to defend the belt. It will be against Robert Whitaker, a former 70-pounder. So he's kind of, it's the ideal situation for him going up to 185.
And then Whitaker would be a tough fight for Bisping too, right?
Whitaker's a tough fight for Bisping. Whitaker's a tough fight for George now because that dude's gotten so much better, man. He continues to improve every single time.
I remember I knew who he was. And then I think he headlined, what card did he headline where he fought someone?
He fought Romero. Yoel Romero.
Yeah, and I just thought, like, what? Like, I didn't think he was, I thought he was pretty good. I thought he was notable for Ultimate Fighter, but I didn't think he would get to this level.
Be like that.
It's pretty awesome. You just like him because of the nickname.
Bobby Knuckles.
What would you want?
That's a good one, huh?
Well, if you could have any.
He doesn't like it, though. He doesn't like it. He's trying. I said, hey, where'd you get that name, Bobby Knuckles? He goes, I don't like it, mate. He goes, John Anik gave it to him one night. He was fighting, and he knocks people out. He goes, Bobby Knuckles with the knockout, and it was fantastic. And Robert said, I don't like it. He goes, I don't like it, man. He does not like to be called Bobby Knuckles, but it's such. I go, man, if that kid, imagine if Robert Whitaker went on and just started selling T-shirts that said Bobby Knuckles.
Yeah, he should.
It'd be great, but he doesn't like it.
If you had to give Dennis a nickname, what would it be?
You think you want it, Dennis? You want Bobby Knuckles? Since Robert doesn't want it?
I'll take it. It's a sick name. Bobby Knuckles.
He doesn't like it, though. He likes to be called the Reaper. The Reaper, Robert Whitaker. That's what he's...
Oh, I thought you were talking about Dennis. So did Dennis. When you said the Reaper, Dennis looked all proud, like, yeah, I'll take that. I was thinking more like weathered liver or something like that.
The Reaper of the liver.
Bloody liver.
Yeah, that's the nickname that he prefers. So it's the division's super interesting right now, and I think it's cool. Hey, so last weekend, I don't know if you guys got to watch the Raiders play... who did they play? The Raiders. Who the Raiders play?
The Raiders play the Jets.
And Marshawn Lynch then starts to do this dance on the sideline, right?
Yeah.
What did you think of that?
I think he was just so happy to be. His whole life he's wanted to be in Oakland, have the Coliseum going crazy. And he just got lost in the moment.
So wait,